Welcome back, everybody, to my last brain cell. Happy Friday, Junior, y'all. The month is almost over. I hope you have some amazing weekend plans coming up. I hope the work week wasn't too rough with you. And yeah, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Let's jump right into it. Question of the day. Today's question of the day is: who do you think is the whitest animated family? What does that mean? Stereotypically speaking, right? White families allow their kids to just get away with whatever, right? So, between American Dad, Family Guy, Rick and Morty, and Bob's Burgers, I think there was one more I had in mind, but I can't remember it right now. Of those four, who do you think is the whitest parent household? And I'll tell you right away, it's clearly Rick and Morty. Like Beth and what the hell is the husband's name? Damn, Jerry. Beth and Jerry, very loose parenting style. Wouldn't even call it a parenting style. They don't have any idea what's going on with their kids. They don't really raise their kids. Their kids raise them for sure. Bob's Burgers is up there, but I think it's just because Bob and Linda have a very lenient uh parenting style, and Louise is just like a wildfire. You know what I mean? So you have Tina, who is super calm, probably very low maintenance. Jean, who is not calm, but also probably very low maintenance. And then there's Louise. But I wouldn't say that their parenting style is the widest of the bunch. I just think they have a pretty lax one. And I think between, American Dad and Family Guy, I think Peter and Lois probably have the widest parenting style. But I also think that's because of the age of their kids. Like, Chris and Meg are both in high school. Haley and Steve have a decent enough gap between them that I think that they definitely smother Steve, and obviously in certain instances. But Haley, they're just like, whatever, you're a failure. Fuck off. I think that's kind of what they do. So I guess honestly, between the two, I would say, I guess, um, American Dad probably might be the whitest, because for Lois and Peter, like I said, both their kids are still in high school for the most part. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, yeah. So I think, like I said, between American Dad, Family Guy, Rick and Morty, and Bob's Burgers, I gotta give it to Rick and Morty. Beth and Jerry have the whitest parenting style. They are stereotypically speaking, of course, they are the whitest family. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I would do the Blackest Family, but we don't have too many black animated shows for me to do that with, so can't do that. But anyway, yeah, I have some things I'm going to talk about today. If you're watching this right now, I am working on, like, literally as this is out right now, as I'm speaking, I'm working on some stuff in the background to make some visions come true, and I really hope you guys appreciate and enjoy it. Yeah, there's not much really new. I feel bad. You know what? I guess it's not true. We are officially celebrating 2 years down. 2 years ago, almost to the day, I set up this camera for the first time and released the very first roughest of episodes from my last brain cell. We went from a very basic microphone to an upgraded one that has some type of sound system and filter to it. We upgraded to a ring light. We've changed the decor. The Funko Pop wall has grown over the last 2 years, and I really do want to say thank you to all of you. First and foremost, though, I want to thank God, because without God, I wouldn't still be here right now. He planted the thought in my head, and I kind of just rolled with it. And this started off as just an accountability thing for me. And I mean, 2 years ago, I was not in a very good place mentally, and I really started my last brain cell to escape, but to also make it so that I constantly have to post. I have to make sure I show my face. I have to do the next episode. I have to do this. That was my way of staying alive, honestly, for the most part. But now it's I have to do this because this is fun for me still, but I have to do it because I feel like it's going to, I feel like there's a very small part of me that's like this is all part of the plan. One thing I'm starting to realize is a part of my purpose is talking to people for some reason. I just have a natural affinity for attracting all types of people. And I feel like this channel is a great way for me to do that. And I think there's a way for me to tap into it. And I just need to find that. But there's a lot of ideas I have for my last brain cell that I just can't bring to fruition right now because of space and timing and things like that. But once both of those open up, I have some really dope ideas. I think you guys will really enjoy what we have going forward in the future. Sip, Read, Repeat, and Clandestine Cuisines are just the beginning. I I I'm understanding that the idea of creating content is a spectrum. It starts off as something that you want to nurture. It's also something that's so small that you want to nurture that you keep doing that one thing, and then it can bubble and manifest into something completely different. I never thought that I would be doing food reviews. We did Slice of Buffalo and we're doing clandestine cuisines, right? I never thought I would do that kind of content. I never thought I would revitalize Sip Read Repeat, like I said, which was a brainchild of mine from years ago. I never thought I would see that come to fruition when I set this camera up again for the first time, right? So it's super exhilarating to be open to the idea of creating content and not pigeonholing yourself to one genre. Creating, like I said, creating content is a spectrum. You have the ability to do whatever you want because it's your content. There are people who do family content, but the family content expands beyond just, interactions with the kids. It's interactions with their friends. It's interaction with just them and the wife. You know what I mean? Husband and wife, or sometimes the kids take over and you get a glimpse into their life, but sometimes they're just out doing stuff. I don't think I fully understood the allure of just watching people do stuff. I follow Kev on stage. I think I talked about him a couple of days ago too. I follow Kev on stage, and he provides insight, opinionated insight online, which is why I follow him, because sometimes I get a good like, oh shoot, that was a nice little nugget from him, right? Same with Tony Baker. I follow him because he's funny. I see his clips. He does the voiceovers. He'll post his thoughts. And he just sometimes he'll just chop it up with you. But I never understood the concept of watching someone be at a baseball game. Why do I care that you're there? But it might not be the content for me, but it's the content for somebody. There are people out there who watch that, who like that. There are people out there who create content who you probably never even heard of or ever even dreamed of following or whatever, but they're out there. It's a big beautiful world for you to leave your mark on, and content is a great way to do that. I think there are obviously other ways, but every and anything can be content. You don't have to make everything content, but any and everything can be content. And that's enough of a spiel from me. Let's jump into the wheel of fun, shall we? I guess we're stopping right there. TV. Oh man, honestly, it's so funny. We just talked TV the other day, didn't we? Because I brought up Invincible and the Boys and Bloodhounds, but actually this worked out because yesterday the season finale of Invincible dropped, and honestly, it was just a smidgen lackluster. I did appreciate the constant blue ball moments and throughout the episode where Mark thought that Thrag was coming through. My jaw dropped every single time when he thought Debbie was dead, when he thought all those moments were phenomenal, which eventually led up to the inevitable point where Mark does run into Thrag again, and Thrag basically tells him, "We're staying on Earth. You have no say. Accept it or be responsible for the deaths of millions. Your choice." I still think it was lackluster. Again, a really great episode that detailed the PTSD, or I should say highlighted the PTSD that Mark is going through. And I think the most interesting thing for me for this season of Invincible is in the beginning of the season, Mark had to kind of come to grips with the fact that he may have to kill again, right? Being convinced that he already killed Conquest in the prior season. In the beginning half of this first season, in the beginning half of this season, you can see he's really struggling with the idea of killing someone. And it almost seems like a chore to him or a bore, maybe a combination of both, where he's like, damn, like I might like, these are the things that I actually might have to do because a threat might be big enough where I have to go kill somebody. He killed the dude who was infected by the Sequid. He killed old girl in hell, right? I'm sure I want to say he killed someone else too, but he really, I mean, even in earlier seasons, he constantly struggled with that. But in this season, even more so. Then you get to the Conquest fight, and he puts his all into killing Conquest. So you think the switch has flipped in his head where, okay, these Viltrumites are dangerous. I have to kill them. But when it mattered most, he couldn't land a killing blow. Personally, even if all of the Viltrumites were there, I feel like Mark should have been able to kill at least one or two Viltrumites by himself. Kill. Not maim, not heavily injure. He should have been able and should not have hesitated to kill at least two Viltrumites there. Because at this point in time, Mark, I would think that your character has understood the difference between cold-blooded murder and the need to kill to protect. In this world of Invincible, it's not like a comic book world where you want to rehabilitate your villains. Batman looking right at you. No, there are some dangerous motherfuckers here. Some of these guys got to die, and Viltrumites are high on that list. I never read the Invincible comics. I know a little bit about the story going forward from this point, but I still think that there should have been less hesitation, and especially when Thrag ripped Oliver's arm and jaw off. Mark should have taken out two Viltrumites off Wrath alone. I'm tripping. Let me know what y'all think, because I truly think that for how much he I think the word I'm looking for is lamented about murdering and killing this entire season, when it mattered most, he couldn't do it. But I don't know. That's just me. Let me know what you guys think. The Boys episode was all right. Also felt very lackluster. And I am so close to finishing season 1 of Bloodhounds. I'm halfway through the last episode. It's a very long episode, an hour plus. Had to pause partway through, but I plan on finishing soon. So when we catch up again on Saturday, I have some information for y'all then, and I'll probably have some anime stuff too, I'm hoping. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I should have some other stuff too, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. And yeah, y'all, that's all I got. I ain't gonna hold you. So until next time, this is King Echo signing off.